Hey guys, Idre here, and today is going to be a very casual video. It's a Thursday, or is it a No, it's a Wednesday. What am I talking about? That's how casual I am today. I don't usually upload today, unless I have a lot of reviews scheduled, but I wanted to cover something really quick just because it's been on my mind, and I've been listening to a lot of stuff, and I've been really working on making my great classic albums videos a bit more well organized than they usually are. But it kind of brought something up in my mind. What necessary? I'm sure some of you might be wondering this because I do have a lot of new albums on those lists as well. And by new, I mean the past few years. What makes an album classic, in my opinion? Like, what makes an album eligible to be in one of those videos? I've talked about this briefly in the very beginning of when I started that on episode 1 and 2, I think. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about this. First off, I'm sure I've reiterated it before. I am not a music encyclopedia. I am not an Anthony Fantano. I'm not a Pitchfork, and I'm not Rolling Stone. I don't have a extent. I have a lot of albums that I like and that I listen to, but I don't have an extensive back catalog as big as them. I mean, I have a lot of dozens and dozens, probably even over, probably hundreds of artists that I've listened to and albums that I've enjoyed and disliked. But I am always, always, always looking for new music, always finding new music. My number one greatest friend and my number one greatest tool is Acclaimed Music. I will actually give them a bit of a shout out towards the end of this video. But I have a very loose definition of a classic album, in my opinion, because a lot of people take it, in my opinion, a bit too seriously. I put a Juice WRLD album in one of my classic albums videos, and I didn't get much backlash on there, but I know that a lot of people watching it probably were confused. Number one, the first point I want to get out of the way is this is purely my personal taste. I have no criteria, nothing like that. Just like how I do my reviews. If you don't know, my reviews are simply just my opinion. I don't have any set criteria. In some artists I like more than others, even if I'm not necessarily sure why. That's just how my brain works. There are some hip-hop artists that are more party-based, less conscious, that I enjoy more than some of the more conscious and lyrical rappers. That's just my preference, but it differs depending on the artist. And the same thing applies with every of these classic albums. Second, if I were to give every video or every album that is in the classic albums videos would get an 8 out of 10 or higher. That is my one criteria. When I'm listening to it, I think of it this way. If I were to actually give this album a formal review, it would have to get an 8 or higher. There are a lot of classic albums I like that I would probably give a 6 or 7, but that makes them non-eligible to be in the video. That's really my only criteria. I don't have much. It's not like when I'm saying classic, I mean it is shaping music for generations. It's not what I mean. What I really mean is classic as in good. It's a good, older album that I think has played a significant role in my musical liking, and I think it plays a significant role in the artist's discography, hence why Juice WRLD made it on. Goodbye and Good Riddance, I think, was an excellent album for him, and I think it was a really great album for that year and for the genre as a whole, and that's why it was eligible. I would give it an 8 out of 10. So I just wanted to get that out of the way, because I feel like I've never actually made it clear. And the third thing, is that I am always finding new music. That's, like I said, and this is going to be a great segue into me kind of promoting Acclaimed Music a little bit. It is a great tool for me to always find new music because it organizes thousands and thousands of critically acclaimed albums by genre, by artist, by years. And if I'm ever in the mood to listen to an 80s album, but I don't know what to listen to, I can click the 80s section and see the list of the most critically acclaimed 80s albums. I could pick a select year, like 85, 86. And if I want to get even deeper, like synth pop, you can get synth pop, or you can go even deeper and go to the subgenres. There's a lot of features on Acclaimed Music that I think it makes it one of the best tools out there to discover new music. I've discovered a ton of new music. Actually, most of the albums that I've discovered in my Great Classic Album series, I have discovered from Acclaimed Music. Now, also, you might be wondering, how do they get this list? How do they make it acclaimed? How do they get the list of the most acclaimed albums of all time? Well, I don't know the exact formula, but I do know that they take thousands of different critic lists, end of year lists, best of all time lists, genre lists, you name it, foreign lists, and they put it all into this whatever algorithm or whatever, and the end result is the average. They score it up, and they do it based off what is the most mentioned, what is the most highly ranked albums. And currently, the most highly ranked song is Like a Rolling Stone by Bob Dylan, and the most acclaimed album is Pet Sounds by Beach Boys, which I have my own personal complaints with. But that is just what the data shows. So it's a great tool. It's a very non biased website since the creators of the website don't have any input in the results. It's all simply an algorithm. So if anything, you have to blame the critics. And yeah, I just wanted to make this video because I wanted to reiterate why some albums make my classic albums list. And I just once again, if an album, in my opinion, is an 8 out of 10 or higher, it is eligible. And I also wanted to make this video to have a quick shout out for Acclaimed Music, an excellent site with also an excellent community on the forums. I am very active on the forums. I participate in most of the polls on the forums. Overall, really great community that is really welcoming and really can help you expand your musical horizons. I've discovered so many genres that I never cared for before. I've discovered so many artists, albums, and songs that I never even was aware of before. Actually, right now, I'm diving deep into, or not necessarily diving deep into, but I am kind of digging into the War on Drugs discography with Lost in a Dream is my main focus right now. And if I like it enough, if I think it's higher than an 8 out of 10, it could end up on my great classic albums list. With that being said, that's it for now. On Friday, you could expect a new upload. Hopefully, and if not Friday, Saturday, I have a lot of albums to cover. So I'm looking forward to this. I love, I'm enjoying 2021 being a bit more casual for this channel. I feel like my one problem during last year was I tried too hard to be a bit too professional, and I feel like that turned away many of my audience members simply because they thought it was a bit too forced. But yeah, I'm going to try to make things more casual here, just so I could have more fun, because at the end of the day, this is a fun hobby of mine, and I love music, and I want to share my love of music with everybody else. That being said, adios, amigos.